Today is August 10th. I've got 9 miles into Creed today. Getting a late start because everything was coated in ice, so here we go. Back on trail. I've got a pretty substantial climb to the San Luis trailhead where I will be getting picked up to go into Creed. Got a late start, so gotta kind of frickin' book it. Hey hikers, Muppet here with Good Nature Trails. I was dropped off at Creed by a trail angel and a trail shuttler named Debbie. So at this point, Lando was a bit in front of me. He was trying to finish the trail just a day before me, so he was booking it at this point. Wasn't hiking with him anymore after Creed. I was still running into rodeo here and there. I was still running into Paul, but he ended up staying in Creed and then another town right after Creed. 3-mile hike to get back on trail. Silverton in 4 days. And Durango in 7. So, home stretch. Why? The dry air in Colorado was starting to get to me, and I was finding myself getting a couple of pretty bad nosebleeds here and there. I usually get nosebleeds once the air starts getting drier, but out there, even though it was raining on me every single day, the air is just super dry, so I was getting some nosebleeds. Come here, mister. I want to see that waffle tail. Oh my god! I don't know! I can't tell if they're fighting or if... Yeah, ooh, they might be in love. So I was waiting, I was sitting by this lake, I was talking to this guy who goes by the name of Newt, and lo and behold, we saw a couple of beaver. But I love the little critters of the trail. There were these little things called pikas. They're these little tiny mice-looking things, and they'd squeak at you. There were also marmots just about everywhere. They would walk around, if you'd see them from afar, I thought it was just a small dog, like walking around unleashed or something like that. And they would squeak, and they'd squeak loud. I just got some trail magic. I had a nice fresh banana and I'm feeling so good now. I was in a mood all morning and now I'm just like pumped. So trail angels out there all across the trail and all across the world, thank you. You don't understand how great you make our days. Thank you. So at this point of the trail, I was starting to get pretty sick of the hiker diet, which is mostly protein bars, peanut butter, ramen noodles, instant mashed potatoes, stuff like that. And Lando kind of taught me I can eat a little more luxuriously than that. I'd make these little sandwiches, I'd split them open, throw in some tuna, throw on some cheese. I would use Baby Bell cheese, which is little wheels of cheese wrapped in wax so you wouldn't have to refrigerate them. And I would just make some killer sandwiches out there. They were pretty good. Trail angels are angels, for lack of a better term. But they are people who are out there to support hikers while on trail. They'll bring their car up to you, you know, they'll give you rides into town, back and forth, whatever, you know, bring you to the grocery store. But what really makes a trail angel special is when they give you some trail magic, which is some food, some water, some beer, some soda. Surprisingly, on the Colorado Trail, there was not many trail angels, which kind of made them so special to me. I forget what this town was called. Someone was actually there to pick up Paul, and I ran into them, and I was talking to her for a little bit, and she was like, oh, you know, I'm waiting here to pick up this guy Paul and Dr. Mac, and I was like, oh my god, I've been hiking with them, you know. She was like, oh, so you're hiking the Colorado Trail? And I was like, yeah. So she gives me a fresh banana, and she let me drink a soda. So that was really kind of her, you know. That's the absolute best. Very, very thankful for that. So one of the most rewarding points on trail for me was the Colorado Trail high point. That was, you know, it's something you look forward to. It's the highest point on the Colorado Trail. You know, I had a lot to think about at that point. I was literally at the top. And it felt great, and it felt freeing. So while I was up there, I stripped myself completely naked because I was on top. You know, I was on top. I felt accomplished, and I felt like me. The trail is life-changing, without a doubt. And to accomplish like anything out there is just an incredible feeling. And to be at the highest point of the trail and conquer that, I felt free. At this point of the trail, I was really feeling confident in my legs and the way my body was working and everything else. And I thought the toughest part of the trail was already behind me. Snow Mesa into Silverton was the hardest part of the trail. It was incredibly difficult. It was insane. I felt like I was hiking out in the East Coast again, you know? It was just up and down and up and down and up and down, just multiple times all day, just really steep incline, really steep decline, and I was really having a tough time. I remember there was one night where I ran into someone who was from Silverton. He was out day hiking, and he gave me a fresh apple, and that really boosted my spirits. I was also alone at this point. I was not hiking with anyone who I was usually hiking with. I was completely alone. My worst night on trail actually happened around here. I was in some area shortly after Snow Mesa. It was just so incredibly windy. It was extremely difficult to set up my tent. I did get it set up, but the wind was just absolutely beating on my tent, which was making a lot of noise. I didn't get much sleep. That night, I also woke up in the middle of the night and heard what sounded like an old woman screaming. And I was very confused about what that was. And then I remembered, oh yeah, that's what a mountain lion sounds like. So I had a mountain lion walking around my campsite somewhere. So that was freaking me out. Yeah, that was my worst night on trail. That portion was just really, really difficult. It took a lot out of me. So I got into Silverton. Silverton was my favorite town along the entire trail. I don't know if it was just because I had that extremely difficult, defeating stretch behind me and I was living off of that high or what, but Silverton was my absolute favorite town. Classic western town, one main street and the rest were just dirt roads outside of it. Really good food. I had some awesome food from a restaurant right across from my room. There was ice cream right below my room, which was really good ice cream. But what really stole the show was this place called Rocky Mountain Funnel Cake. Now, again, I'm from New Jersey. I've had good funnel cakes, but this was the best funnel cake I've ever had in my life. They called it a peanut butter cup funnel cake. Absolutely delicious. It was chocolate and peanut butter drizzle on top of the funnel cake with, powdered sugar and 3 scoops of cookie dough ice cream. And it was amazing. So I really fell in love with Silverton. I had a great time. The general store was awesome. I really loved Silverton. It was, without a doubt, my favorite town on trail. Good morning, everybody. Today is August 15th. I just left Silverton, and I'm back on trail. This is my final stretch before I finish. I have 73 miles left to go, 4 days, including today, left to hike. So let's do this. Yeah, so the past couple of days have been pretty rough, actually. Very emotional couple of days for me too. And the trail was just pretty tough for a little bit back there. Once I got to Snow Mesa and on, I just kind of wasn't feeling it. Fell out of my groove. It was just really tough. So I'm very thankful to be happy on trail again. I had only 4 days left to go, which was really, really surreal. Going through that really difficult part of trail, I was, I didn't want to say I was over it, but I was feeling ready for the trail to be done. I was thinking about my friends at home. I was thinking about the people I cared about at home. I was just kind of ready, but then these last 4 days came up and I wasn't ready. I was not ready for the trail to be over. So that was weird, flip-flopping emotions like that so quickly. Yeah, without a doubt, the last 4 days of trail were probably my favorite 4 days on trail. The trail was getting easier again after being really difficult on me. I met a very, very special friend. He goes by the name of Tropic. I am forever grateful and forever thankful that I met him on trail. He was my age. He was a young guy. He's from California. Just a really incredible, really genuine, just awesome guy. Well, I don't think it's coming near me, but there are some big boomies. We got a hell of a hailstorm that ended up showing up right on top of us. It was wicked. We were getting beat up. It was definitely the worst hailstorm I saw on trail. We didn't exactly have many places to go hide under a tree from it, so we were just getting beat up by some hail. Ow! This fucking sucks.
Turtle it.
Look at him! The hike from Silverton to Durango, it was rewarding, it was easy, it was pleasant, it was great. I had a great time. I met a really great trail friend, and that part of the trail was easy. And we really pushed it. We did a 30-mile day, did some night hiking to make sure we did a 30-mile day, and we set everything up so that our last day could be nice and easy. We set it up so that we only had to do 12 miles to finish the trail on our final day, which was really, really nice. And we could just take our time and reflect and finish strong, you know? Good morning, everybody. Today is August the 18th. It is my final day on the Colorado Trail, and I have about 10 miles until I'm finished. It's kind of interesting. Not too long ago, when the trail was really tough, I was kind of ready for it to be over. And now that I'm here, I'm, dreading the fact that it's about to be over. I've gotten really used to this. I don't know, it's kind of made sense, I guess. I'm not ready to take a break from it. Kind of at a weird spot in my head right now. I'm excited and I'm thrilled, but I'm also just not ready. It went by too quick. Weird feeling. Woo! Final peak of the Colorado Trail. So while I'm on my final descent, I want to say some thank yous. Huge, huge, huge thank you to my biggest support and my two best trail angels. That's both of my parents. You know, they really helped me out booking hotels and making sure I got into town and just being a support system throughout the whole thing. Thank you to Nico, of course, another one of my biggest supports. He's coming to pick me up today. He flew all the way back out here. So huge shout out to Nico. Thank you to Paris. You really helped fucking prepare me for this pretty intense hike. Paris, if I didn't start out hiking with you on this trail, I don't think I'd still be on this trail. I learned a lot from you, and yeah, I owe you a big thank you, especially for driving us around too. Big thank you to all my friends back home who every time I had service reached out to me and supported me along the way. Huge thank you to everybody who I've met throughout this entire through hike. You made it not so lonely out here. So thank you to Tropic Iro. Thank you to Lando, Paul, Rodeo, Mud Skipper, Mad Rat, just everybody. You've all made a huge impact on my life, so thank you. If any of you are watching this, you know, thank you for watching. I got a plan on what's next because this ain't the last hike. This ain't the last hike. I wouldn't have been able to do it alone, you know. I had friends at home who were supporting me. I had people who I was calling every time I was in town and talking to them and just sending love and appreciation. And that final day was just an amalgamation of all those thoughts and all that appreciation and all that love. And it was a lot. So thankful that I met Tropic. Like, it's crazy. Like, he literally lives across the country from me. I never would have met him in any other circumstance. Like, it's just really, really crazy to me. When we saw that we were in the final mile, we were both like, it's the final mile, and we both just started crying, you know? I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about it right now. Like, there was just so much emotion. Like, when so much heart and power and effort and pain goes into something, like, it's an unbelievable feeling. It's an undescribable feeling, too, how I felt that day. I cannot express how thankful I am to have had this experience. You know, we were planning this trip for 2 years. Of course, when COVID was really starting, there was a part of me that thought this trip isn't going to happen this year. You know, it's going to have to wait. I am extremely thankful that it did happen, and I'm extremely thankful for the people that I met and hiked with along the way, every single one of them. So thank you to Mad Rat, thank you to Mud Skipper, thank you to Jason, thank you to Tropic, thank you to Lando, thank you to Rodeo, thank you to Paul, thank you to just everyone who I hiked with throughout this entire experience. Thank you. Like, you guys made this possible. Thank you to everybody at home, my friends from home who continued to support me, the people I care about, my parents especially. Huge thank you to them, of course, and their continued support. They think I'm crazy for loving to do this crap to my body, but nevertheless, they're very supportive of it, so huge thank you to them. Thank you to my wonderful video editor, Mitch. I can't stand the sound of my own voice, so there's no way I wanted to edit any of these. The amount of support I received throughout this journey has just been unbelievable, so thank you, the viewer. I hope this video helps you and helps you plan your own life-changing journey. Thank you to Colorado. Huge thank you to Colorado. Their land is beautiful. It's unlike anything else. The flowers, the wildlife, the animals. It's like an alien world out there compared to this East Coast life, you know? It's an alien world. It's something completely different, something unimaginable. We take nature for granted sometimes. We forget it's there. When I was out there, you know, I wouldn't see any signs of human interaction for miles. And days even, you know, I'd go days without seeing a man-made structure, and it's just incredible. A world untouched by man. The mental and physical challenges are something I'm so grateful for. Hiking 486 miles is something I didn't think a couple of years ago I would have been able to do. I don't think I would have been able to handle it both physically and mentally, but I did, because we are capable of so much more than our mind tells us we are. Anyone can through hike. I was surrounded by a completely diverse group of people of different age groups and different backgrounds. Anyone can through hike. Anyone can accomplish anything. Your mind is going to tell you sometimes, I can't do this, but guess what? You can just push through it. Anyone can do it. It's incredible. I remember when I finished, I didn't even film when I got to the sign at Durango. I was just so overwhelmed with emotions. I was calling my family, telling them I finished. I was in tears. I was sobbing. I was just very emotional. Right after all that, a day hiker was like, oh, you guys just finished the Colorado Trail? Need a ride into Durango? So we just went right into town and got a very well-deserved free beer. It was great. So that's it for my Colorado Trail through hike. So what's next for the channel? I'll have a whole video on that coming out soon, so expect that to be the next video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. I hope you stick around. I'm Muppet, and I'll see you on the trail.